There is a small group of people, born roughly between 1976 and 1985, who occupy a strange and quiet space in history. They aren't quite the cynical latchkey kids of Generation X, and they aren't the digital natives known as Millennials. They are the Xennials, and to understand their psychology is to understand their concept of liminality, the state of being on a threshold. They are the last generation to remember what the world felt like before the internet, and the first to master it as young adults. The defining psychological trait of a Xennial is cognitive adaptability. Like those born later, Xennials spent their formative years developing analog social skills. They navigated childhood through physical cues, landing phone etiquette, and the necessity of boredom. There was no on-demand entertainment. There was only what was available in the moment. However, as they hit their late teens and early 20s, the digital revolution arrived. Because their brains were already firm but still flexible, they became digitally bilingual. This created a unique sense of independence. They know how to exist without a signal, yet they are fully capable of navigating the most complex digital landscapes. They don't feel lost without technology. They just feel disconnected, and for many Xennials, that disconnection is actually a source of peace, not anxiety. One of the most profound psychological advantages of this generation is the privacy of their mistakes. Xennials went through puberty, had their first heartbreaks, and made their most embarrassing social errors in a world without social media. Their permanent record didn't exist online. This has only fostered a specific kind of psychological resilience. They were allowed to grow, change, and reinvent themselves without the shadow of a digital ghost following them. This often results in a more grounded sense of self worth that isn't tied to external digital validation, simply because they spent 2 decades without it. In the workplace and in families, Xennials often play the role of the mediator. Psychologically, they understand the why behind Gen X's skepticism and the how of the millennials' connectivity. They are the translators. They value the grit of the old world but embrace the efficiency of the new. There is a certain melancholy of being exennial, the feeling of being the last people on earth who remember the before times. They remember the sound of a dial-up modem, the weight of a paper map, and the silence of a house when no one was home. But in that melancholy lies a great strength. The Xennial psychology is one of balance. They remind us that while the digital world is a powerful tool, the physical world is where we actually live. They are just a bridge, and perhaps is an increasingly fractured digital age. And their perspective is exactly what we need to find our way back to being human again.